guys, Old Guy Gaming here, back again with another MTG Arena video, and tonight we're going to be doing Orzhov Vampires. So, real quick, I want to take a quick note. I took my wife's suggestion about cleaning up my man cave, which gave me the opportunity to rearrange things here in the in-home studio. So I got to put some of my geeky things in the background to give you guys some cool stuff to look at. So I've got everything from like my Dungeons and Dragons collections, everything from first edition, and that's the big red box if you ever know it, all the way up through fifth edition, and Pathfinder is all kind of in there. And then you get all of the stuff over my shoulder here, which are like all the books I've been reading, from my Warhammer 40k books to the Alien novels. So there's some, Brandon Sanderson and George Martin kind of thing, and then my entire X-Wing trophy case all in the background, so kind of gives you a peek into my geeky little life. So I also did adjust some of the camera settings and some of the lighting, so let me know in the comments down below how this is working out and if it works out better. I think that the image looks sharper, but I could be wrong. Anyway, on to the deck. So I've been avoiding doing Orzhov Vampires for one reason and one reason alone, is that a vast majority of the key pieces in this deck are rotating out at the end of the fall. And I'm really kind of trying to stay focused on decks that are going to still stick around after rotation, but it's doing really, really well in the tournament scene, so I can't really kind of ignore the deck. And it is a ton of fun, I'm not going to lie. It's just there's a lot of key pieces on this one that are going to rotate out. So depending on when you watch this video, if you watch this video after Throne of Eldraine comes out, a vast majority of the pieces on this one are going to be gone. Move on. But if you're still watching and you're still in the currently in the Core Set 2020 meta, it is still technically a viable deck. So let's go ahead and kind of get into it. So it's a whole bunch of vampires, and so many cool pieces you got to use. So running in the one slots, we're going to go ahead and run two copies of Legion's Landing. When it comes into play, it creates a 1/1 creature, and the upside to this one is if you attack with 3 creatures, you get to flip it to the Adanto's the first fort. And this is a cool little card because not only does it provide white mana, but for 3 mana you can just create more vampires with lifelink, which is really super cool. Skymarcher Aspirant, you can see a ton of these ones. It's a 2/1. If you have the Sitting's Blessing, which is having 10 or more items, or 10 or more permanents in play, it gains flying. Again, another good 1-drop vampire. One of the other better 1-drop vampires, and one of my favorites, Knight of the Ebon Legion. It is a 1/2 for 1 black. It comes down whenever you put 3 mana into it, 1 black and 2 colorless. It gets +3/+3 and gains Death Touch until end of turn. At the beginning of your end step, if a player lost 4 or more life, that is any player, that could be you as well, put a +1/+1 counter on Knight of the Ebon Legion. Great little vampire. Vicious Conquistador, I am really going to miss this one. He was a key staple in a lot of my mono black aggro decks for a long period of time. He's still really good, so I am going to miss this card. It's a 1/2 for 1, which is really good, and then whenever it attacks, your opponent loses 1 life. So that's non-combat damage, and then it doesn't matter if he hits his opponent or not. That damage goes through all the time. Great little card. Adanto Vanguard. If you haven't seen this card in mono white decks, it is a 1/1, and when it attacks, it gets +2/+0, and you can pay 4 life to make it indestructible until end of turn. There is some life gain aspects to this. There's some lifelink in here, so paying that 4 mana isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world. Dusk Legion Zealot's in there to help you provide some card draw. Whenever it enters the battlefield, you draw a card and lose a life. Again, he's a vampire, helps you draw some cards. Legion Lieutenant, one of the key pieces to this deck that is going to be rotating out at the beginning of the fall. 2/2 for 1 black and 1 white, and all other vampires you control gain +1/+1. Now the big man himself, Sorin, Imperious, Bloodlord. He is a 4 loyalty planeswalker for 3. Can't really beat that. His +1, target creatures gains Death Touch. Target creature you control gains Death Touch and lifelink until end of turn, and if it's a vampire, as all creatures in this deck are, it gets a +1/+1 counter as well. So that can go on your Adanto Vanguards, that can go on your Legion Lieutenants to get them above things like Shock and Lightning Strike as you go further on. It's a fantastic card, or fantastic ability. His other +1 is you may sacrifice a vampire, and when you do, he does 3 damage to any target, and you gain 3 life. Pretty cool. It's the -3 that everyone's kind of going head over heels over, because basically what this means, for 3 mana, you cast him, you -3 him, and you put a vampire creature card from your hand into the battlefield. without paying mana cost. So that gets into your higher casting cost of vampires like Champions of Dusk or Sanctum Seeker that you're basically getting for free. So for 3 mana, you're getting the Planeswalker and another vampire, which is super gross. Those are the big ones that I want to. I know some other decks run 4 and 4 of this. I didn't feel like spending wildcards on these, to be perfectly honest with you. Again, they're rotating out at the end of the month, or in a month or so, so I don't really want to spend rare wildcards, which are a precious commodity, on vampires that are going to rotate out. So these are the best ones right now to put in for those slots. So let's kind of cover over them. Sanctum Seeker, whenever a vampire you control attacks, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. You have a ton of vampires in this deck. You can bleed them dry just with having this card in play. And Champion of Dusk is a great target for his -3 ability, Sorin's -3. When he enters the battlefield, you draw X card and lose X life, where X is the number of vampires you control. So you basically pay 3 life, or you pay 3 mana, you put Sorin down. You -3 him, you put this down. Hopefully you've got 2 or 3 vampires in play already. He does count towards that, by the way. And then you draw like 3 or 4 cards. So for 3 mana, you're doing so much. It's ridiculous, which is why this is such a pretty powerful deck. I'm also running 4 Mortifies for the creatures and enchantments that might get in your way. Mana base is relatively straight simple. 7 plains, 7 swamps, 4 Godless Shrines, which are not rotating out. 2 Isolated Chapels, which are, so I'm kind of teasing in with the Temple of Silence. I do like the Scry ability. I am really curious to see what the meta is going to be like when we lose the dual lands from Ixalan and from Dominaria, and we're left with Shocklands and these. It'll be really interesting. So anyway, let's go play some games. Where did it go? I lost it. There it is. I have other Orzhov decks that are rotation proof that I will be premiering after this, like my Orzhov Zombies, for example. I'm looking forward to playing off. And there's an Orzhov Lightning deck that really interests me. So those should both be fun, and you'll be seeing those in the probably one more this week and then later in the week for next one, because we've got an event coming up, which I'll talk about here shortly. That's actually going to happen on Sunday. Ooh. All good things. I will keep it. Orne Sapphirite Thopter. That's a name. That took some creativity to put into. Sure. That can enter tapped. And we'll say hello and good game like a gentleman. I want to... Yeah, let's go with that kitty today. I'm seeing so much of this deck. So much of this deck. My suspicion is going to be that this is going to be... It's either an elemental deck or it's going to be the... Oh no, this is a Teferi deck. Interesting. Sure. Does break the tempo up a bit. I'll give you that. I want to scare Teferi just a little.
I'll protect you.
Yep, this is the LSV deck. So the trick to beating this deck is to kill it before it can go get Scape Shift off and generate a billion tokens. Yeah, let's go Sanctum Seeker. He's got nothing over there that concerns me at all. Let's just say one of those two things is going to die. And on the next turn, I'll drop Legion's Landing so I can flip it.
Don't worry. I got this.
Do you now? Sure you do. Sure you do, Teferi. Let's go 1, 2. Interesting. He must have Teferi in his hand. Yep. Field of the Dead's going to start doing its thing. Well, this one looks like a lost cause already.
Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
I'm sure you have, Teferi. Nope, he's already ahead of us. Now all he needs is escape shift and it's over. Interesting. Yeah, why not? Go and get another land? I could see that. Yeah, unfortunately, we're well behind. That Cleansing Nova really did us in. And he's just going to go get more land and make more zombies. Yep, I think he's right. Now's about the time to call this one. You guys have seen that deck. If you haven't seen that deck, yeah, it's super annoying to play against, and it will not surprise me in the slightest if Field of the Dead gets the old Banhammer, at least in best of one, similar to what they did with Nexus of Fate. Nexus of Fate is still legal in Standard right now. You can still play a deck in paper that way in best of three, but in best of ones, this deck is it's a bit much. It would not surprise me if Wizards elected to ban that in best of one. We'll see. We'll see. I've seen Wizards make different interesting choices in the past. Like, for example, Scape Shift rotates out in 3 months. They just might let it go. Oh, interesting. Is it worth it to shock in for the Knight of Ebon Legion? I think it might be. Let's see where this goes. It's one of the downsides to playing... Ooh! We might be playing a mirror match here. Healer's Hawk. This ought to be interesting. This might be an Orzhov... Because like I said, I have an Orzhov life gain deck. Ooh! Ooh, Dreadhorde Butcher. I'll block for you. Yeah, it does mean that he gets to kill the Ebon Legion because he's just going to direct the damage right there. Yeah, as I say, that's the right choice, my friend. Isolated Chapel. Drop the Legion Lieutenant, and then we'll drop another Legion Lieutenant. And then the Sanctum Seeker, and then it's going to be fun times. He's certainly willing to shock in. Yeah, I guess so. If you've got the Healer Shock and play, you're only really paying 1 life to do it. Why not? Cool. I definitely changed up my plans, which means we're going to mortify that. Make him pay for it a little. Yeah, we're going to start seeing more of these temples. It's a pretty classic Rakdos build with some white splash into it. I like it. Sure. I'm going to go with Sanctum Seeker next. Spawn of Mayhem again. Come on. Come on. Nope. I'm going to wait until I can put something into the Spawn of Mayhem to actually kill it. He's just going to play for... there's the Ajani's. Interesting choice. I'm dead. I didn't realize I should have swung in with that one. Oh no. That was a mistake. I'll let him hit me. He's earned it. I didn't think about that. I was going, oh, okay, no, I'm going to do this because I was a little concerned about the Death Toucher over there, and I never actually looked at my life total. And that is my fault. So I will own that. That was a poor performance by me just because I wasn't paying attention to my life total. Boo. Boo me. Webster. Okay. Interesting. I think we'll keep that. I'm got a whole bunch of 1-drops. My next 2 turns is going to be pretty interesting. A Legion Lieutenant, we're good. Come on. We'll go with a good old Legion Lieutenant first. Blue-white, maybe blue-white flyers? Moment of Craving, cool. And we'll wait to see what he comes out with. We're going quick. So looking forward to that card leaving. That's not true. That card's not that bad. Would like to get some more creatures here. I'm a little bit slow on the creatures. Neat. Kefnet. Make your recast Kefnet at least. Okay, no more lands, please. That's awesome. I've got all lands, but it's an interesting situation to be in. Oh, yeah, more land, sure. Got one more turn to Kefnet at least. Teferi. Oh, goody. Control. So much fun.
Hold that thought.
I think it's my mistake for playing in ranked. That's probably where my problem is. Alright, let's see what he does.
Don't make another move.
Sure.
We need to move quickly.
I'm going to take a wild guess and say he's going to cast Kefnet again. And I'll take it right back off the board. Let's get that young man off the board, shall we? Or at least close to it, at least.
Stop that. Now.
Or what, Teferi?
No time for a break.
Oh my goodness.
Right on schedule.
That's another card I'm really looking forward to seeing rotate out.
Here we go. Blood's my beginning, and it will be your end. Blood calls to your soul.
Which one's going to bother me the most? Probably that one.
Only time will tell.
Decisions. Oh my goodness. All the Teferis. All the Teferis? Really?
I am not going to sit this one out. Hurry!
So, hang on.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
5, 6. Unless he's got something to do here. He's dead?
I bestow a mighty curse.
I was going to say, that's it. I'm confused. I'm sitting here dumbfounded going, all the Teferis, all the control, and it... Okay. All right. I was convinced I was losing this one. Okay, good. Good showing. Good showing. Thank you so much. Orzhov Vampires. What the heck? It's one of the things about control decks. Like, that's... I mean, I get that they've got... He had Kefnet in there. I'll give him credit for that. Most control decks don't run a whole ton of win conditions. This is actually really good. This is really good for the first couple of turns. We're going to go Vicious Conquistador. I'm going to say hello and good game like a gentleman. So if I get a land drop, it would be nice, but I can still pull the land from here. No land drop, so let's go ahead and grab that. Perfect. Because that's going to put the token right on the 90th Ebon Legion right away. What's he got here? Is this a Gates deck? Oh, wow. I'm assuming he's going for the Adanto Vanguard. Knight of the Ebon Legion, really? Sure. Probably because it's the closest one to being above Gates of Blaze, if I had to take a guess.
Depart Innistrad immediately. Only that calls to your soul.
He could cast Gates of Blaze, but it's not going to kill the Vanguard. That's assuming he even has it. Prison Realm probably on Sorin. He's looking at the Vanguard. I don't know that I'd make that same call, my friend. I would have totally done that on Sorin. So you get to watch this happen, because this is a thing that's going to happen. It's so dirty. Don't get me wrong, Gates of Blaze murders me here. Except for the Champion of Dusk. Oh, it's this deck. Even at that, you don't have enough zombies, my friend. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. That was 7 right there. So we got beat by... Oh, that's even better. Works for me. And I think just the 2 Vicious Conquistadors attacking alone are enough to... And the 3/3 in the air are enough to really push through. I don't know why he's being so concerned. Because he's dead. So yeah, I think his mistake was where he was so interested in getting the Anointed Vanguard off the board, he should have taken Sorin off the board. I'm not sure what the thought process was there. By allowing me to have Sorin, that allowed for that insane draw to be able to pull all those cards out of my hand, dump them on the board, and go. Interesting. Alright, we'll move on. One last game. One last game. Lag kills all. Truer words have never been spoken, my friend. I have all the Mortifies. All the Mortifies. Sure. Mono red. I know thee well. He's going to throw a flaming monkey at me. Or the firebrand. Come on, what do you got? He's just going to shock it is what he's going to do. Or lightning strike it. Interesting choice. So now what do we do? Unless he drew a shock, we're looking at what? Another lightning strike? I love, love, love that in the latest update they changed this so that you can now... I'm guessing he's going to let it go. I'll take that. That's fine. Put myself above shock on that at least. One more and I'm above lightning strike, and that really starts to get into a fun spot. Sure. He's got Skewer the Critics. Lay at the stage. To which he drew 2 lands. Vaishino. Cool. Let's see what he does with this. He could have a Wizard's Lightning. He makes the right choice. For me, anyway. Because I'll drop this and get the added benefit. So now in most of the mono red decks do not run lava coils anymore. So it's lightning strike or bust to kill him. I'll take that. Why wouldn't he skewer the critics the Knight of the Ebon Legion? I don't get that. Let's see how this goes. He could risk factor here one more time. I'm going to have to let him have those cards. I'm not kidding. I mean, genuinely down to 4 life. That's a little bit of a concern. Yep, I'm going to have to let him have it. 2 shocks. That's all he needs. Fanatical Firebrand. Danger Monkey. And a Lightning Strike to me. Nice. Yep. That'll do it. Mono Red, I know thee well. Alright, well, unfortunately, that's where we're going to end. Well, yeah, unfortunately, that's where we're going to have to end. I've got 2 videos I got to record tonight, and then we have a new event coming up. So I do hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, always helps out the channel. We crossed over 500. Thank you guys so much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. It's kind of humbling, actually, to have started off this little channel a little less than a year ago, and to have climbed through the ranks, and now we're at 500, and we're creeping up to 1,000. I really do appreciate it. There is a Patreon, if you're so inclined. That is patreon.com/oldguygamingmtga. And until next video, guys, we shall see you in the arena. This video was brought to you in no small part by our patrons. If you would like to help out the channel, go to www.patreon.com/oldguygamingmtga, and thank you for your support.